Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Broku no Hero. In today's video that I have kind of been talking about doing for a long time. It's a pretty controversial subject that gets a lot of people mad. And it's about power progression in Black Clover. And basically, in a lot of my videos, a lot of my discussions I've had with people, so many people don't believe that captains get stronger over the course of the series, despite a preponderance of evidence that implies they do. And now with that being said, there's also just so much evidence of other characters who are non-captains getting stronger as well, and that's going to be pretty important to talk about, because I'll talk about all the times of all of these other characters that aren't even main characters getting stronger, and add that to the argument. So yeah, captains have gotten way stronger over the course of the series. Now, this is important because when I scale Black Clover characters all the time, they end up saying that, oh, Yami's not that strong, like when it comes to people who don't know the power scale, like many people. Now, if you follow their logic, that means to think that Cave Potri could do the same thing that Yami is doing in the fight against the devil, reacting to his speed, fighting against him, attacking him, and parrying attack, even though Elf Potri couldn't do shit against the devil. So that already is just not a great logical assumption at all. But anyways, I'm going through a bunch of different evidence to show power progression in Black Clover from a bunch of different characters, and then also from captains too, to show that captains have gotten stronger, because I think it's pretty important to underline that fact. Now, first it's important to talk about Fauna, who is a member of the Third Eye. She's basically a captain of the Third Eye. The Third Eye, or of the Eye of the Midnight Sun. She's part of the Third Eye, basically some military commanders of this terrorist organization. It's her, Veto, and Raya. And in a pretty short period of time, she got a lot stronger. Now this is proven when we see her in the cave, and the salamander is rather small. It's more like a lizard in size. Maybe, I guess, a big lizard, not like a little lizard, but still not that big. Then just a short period of time later, in the Witch's Forest arc, we see Fauna again, and the salamander has grown several times bigger, big enough to the point where she is flying with it. Now, it is important to note that we do know that the spirits grow with their owners. The people they choose to be with, they grow with them. This is like what's stated with Yuno. Belle grows with Yuno. Therefore, following the same logic, the fire spirit salamander is growing with Fauna, which means that Fauna has gotten stronger. And then it's hard to scale how much, but this proves she's gotten stronger, because if the salamander got bigger and stronger, then she got bigger, or she got more powerful, she got stronger. So that is proof right there that people of captain level, she's basically a captain equivalent, because she's a high military commander of a terrorist group, the Eye of the Midnight Sun. So she got stronger in a very quick period of time. Now let's then talk about Mars, who is a general of the Diamond Kingdom, and a general is the equivalent to a captain of the Clover Kingdom. So basically two captain equivalents of sorts of characters getting stronger. Mars fought Asta, Yuno, Klaus, Luck, blah blah blah, a lot of people in the dungeon, and was basically defeated by a tiny little breath of Sylph. A tiny little breath of it. Then you have Yuno, who has gotten much stronger, and Sylph, who has gotten much stronger, and uses a full power attack, and Asta kind of scales to that Yuno. And yet Mars is holding his own against Ladros, and Asta is fighting Ladros, which shows that Mars has stayed relative to Asta, who Asta scales to Yuno, which means Mars has gotten way stronger since this point in the series. Somebody who is a general, equivalent of a captain. This shows power progression in Black Clover, but not just the young kids get stronger. Now, here's undeniable proof that captains have gotten stronger, and this is with Nozel here. So Nozel's speed scaling is insane. Now, he fought a base form suppressed Fauna in the cave, a weaker version of the Fauna that the Black Bulls fought in the Witch's Forest. And Nozel was struggling against her. Now, it was his elemental weakness. Fire is good against Mercury, but still, he couldn't blitz her. She was dodging, or not dodging, she was countering and parrying his attacks, and then he goes to fight Dark Elf Potri. Now, we have to remember, there's Patri from the cave. Patri then gets stronger when he fights Julius. Patri gets his L form, which is a massive amp on top of that. Then he gets his Dark L form, which is another massive amp in mana, plus a stronger, faster version of Light Magic, which is Demon Light Magic. Then, he gets even stronger from his Rage after fighting Asta and Yuno. So think of all those power amps, and yet Nozel is just as fast, if not faster, with his Mercury against this version of Patri, and defeats him. Now yes, he does have the elemental advantage here, but remember that still, his magic was fast enough to keep up with Nozel, and if he had the same level of speed back in the cave, he could have effortlessly, no difficulty, casually blitzed Fauna and contained her. In fact, he would be so fast that he could have blitzed all of the Third Eye and Patri, and then the series is done. The elves never come to life because the Third Eye and Patri are stopped. So that's proof right there that in a shorter period of time, Nozel has gotten way faster from that cave arc. Don't say that Nozel was suppressed in that fight, because that makes no sense. Nozel should be bloodlusted because he's pissed off at what happened to Fulgonion. I think he just realized that he ran into a really strong group. He saw that this group has a light magic user with a 4-leaf Clover Grimoire, and then 3 like captain level mages on their side, so he trained heavily after that. This is hardline proof that Nozel got way stronger, and if Nozel can get way stronger, then any of the other captains can go way stronger. Now, of course, Asta and Yuno have gotten way stronger over the course of the series. They are the main characters, though, but just think of how much stronger they have gotten. They've gotten to the point where Asta could deflect a 5 Elven combo magic attack that was amplified to be 4 times stronger, and he just deflected it with his sword. When before he couldn't even deflect the Ray of Divine Punishment from Cave Arc Patri. You have Asta and Yuno fighting Licht together. You have Asta and Yuno fighting the Devil. You have Yuno fighting Elf Patri and Elf Raya at the same time, dodging their attacks, and then countering and attacking them, almost hitting them. And this was a weaker version of Yuno than what we saw in that Elf arc. So this shows that Asta and Yuno got way stronger. But I'm not going to spend a lot of time on them just because of the main characters, and you should expect them to get stronger. Now when it comes to scaling Yami, I mean, this one makes the most sense. I don't know why people don't want to scale him to be stronger than when he fought Cave Arc Patri, because he has a 5 out of 5 in limit breaking. One of his character traits is limit breaking. In fact, he literally gets stronger in the same arc from when he fought Patri. He goes from fighting against Patri, somebody who has an elemental advantage over, and loses, then he goes and fights 3 people that are in a whole other league of power above Patri, and Yami holds them off while protecting people. And he doesn't have the elemental advantage over them. That shows a limit break right there. He's about to break his limits again, but the captain showed up. And we have to remember here that Julius also said that Yami had gotten stronger. And then you have Charlotte fighting a base suppressed Raya, who was said to be on a whole other league above Patri. You then have her fighting and getting stronger over the course of the series. She trained in the training arc on the volcano. She also got a physical strength boost according to the guidebook, which I'll explain later in more detail. And then she gets the Elven Amp, and then the Elven Amp boosts her magic power because it lets her use red roses instead of blue roses. So she got like a double buff from that. And yet Yami is now basically equal to Charlotte, or Charla. He actually isn't better. He isn't equivalent, he's better. He could have killed her and won the fight with Dimension Slash, but didn't want to kill her because of Charlotte being the host of the body. So he just canceled her attack, hit her gauntlet, and then basically had to like run away, I guess. Not run away, just kind of hid. But still, this showed he was at least equal and while holding back, and was stronger if he went all out. We do know that Klaus, who is an upper level Magic Knight, he isn't a captain, but still, he was training his physical strength and his magical power in preparedness for the tournament, so I don't see why other people also wouldn't train. And now I'm going to get into the guidebook on the author statement. So we have the author statement, which was from before the Witcher's 4 start, which showed a physical strength ranking. This physical strength ranking listed the 11 physically strongest mages in Black Clover, and basically at the bottom you have Yuno and Magna, who are 3 out of 5s in the guidebook. And then you have characters like Jack, Charlotte, Nozel, characters that were not on this list before, and now in the guidebook they have 4 out of 5s, which puts them above Yuno and Magna, which means they would have trained physically, and it makes sense. If Klaus can learn to train physically after seeing what Asta has done, and the captains also know Yami is physically strong as well, then why wouldn't they physically train as well? Also, you have this from Raya and Patri as well, as they have 4 to 5s when they were not ranked before, and even Fauna gets a 4 to 5 as well, which, sure, is kind of weird, but then again, she is still alive, and we don't know what she's doing. She could be training to also help against, help with Mars and Ladros against the Diamond Kingdom. So basically, you have characters like Jack the Ripper, Nozel, Charlotte, Patri, Raya, characters that were not on the physical strength ranking at first, and now their physical strength ranks above characters who were on that list, which means they have trained physically to get stronger. That also proves my claim that Patri got way stronger from the cave arc to when he fought Julius, and I'll add more to that. You have the physical strength ranking, which showed he got an increase in physical strength, but also he has a 4-leaf clover grimoire, and we know that people with 4-leaf clover grimoires increase their power rapidly fast, i.e. Asta, Yuno. Yeah, Asta has a 5-leaf clover, but he still has that 4th leaf within that grimoire. And it is even further proven when you have a base suppressed Raya, who is stated to be in a whole other league than Patri, yet when Patri uses the Elven magic, and Raya does as well, their light magic moves at basically the same speed. This would mean that Patri closed that gap that was present with Raya before, which would mean that if you took them to their base, they're probably equal now. And so this is because they both got the Elven form, and their magic was roughly equivalent at that point when they both used light magic. So that proves that Patri got way stronger from the cave arc to the fight against Julius. And that, I don't understand why that is that big of a deal. He has a 4-leaf clover grimoire, high level amounts of mana. Why wouldn't he train when he's supposed to fight what is supposed to be the strongest mage in the kingdom? Another piece of evidence is Vanessa used her strings against better and faster foes than against Veto. Remember, Veto is somebody who was in a whole other league of power than Patri, yet Vanessa is getting stronger and stronger and faster with her strings over the course of the series. Remember, Luck matched Veto's pace in Black Clover. Luck then got way stronger after that when he got his amp when him and Magna went to the dungeon. He then trained even more. He then gets his Elven form. He then gets his Elven form boost when he gets his magic completely covering his body. And yet Vanessa's still reacting to Luck, still using his strings against him. That shows she's getting better with her strings as well. And I see a lot of people who think that Cave Patri is some juggernaut, that he's so powerful. I still see people think that Patri is stronger than the Third Eye. Cave Patri is nothing. Cave Patri, if you put him in the current series, is fodder. Remember, Elf Patri couldn't do shit against the devil, when Black Asta and Spirit Dive Elf could. Elf Patri, who not only, remember, there's Cave Patri, then he gets stronger when he fights Julius, and there's the Elven form. So think of how much stronger and faster he is. You really think if you put Cave Patri in that scenario, it changes anything? No, he does even worse. And then, basically, Patri needed to get a further boost and get Demon Light Magic to help it all in the fight. And remember, this isn't a partially corrupted Dark Elf Patri after all these boosts just to become relevant in the fight. Do you really think that Cave Patri would actually do anything? It makes no sense. There are people that still think that amped Black Asta would lose to Cave Patri. It makes no sense. There is no evidence supporting that. And remember, Mereoleona thought that Yami and Charlotte needed to retrain because they had gotten soft. If this training is enough to get people who are comparable to base Asta to be stronger, then Yami and Charlotte would at least get a little bit of a boost from this. What I mean is, people argue that, oh, Charlotte and Yami are already closer to their peaks, therefore they're going to have diminishing gains from their training, which hasn't really been shown to be true in this series, because we're talking about superhuman characteristics, pairing mana, a supernatural energy with that. But even then, if this makes characters that are comparative to base Asta in strength, gets them way stronger, then it's going to make Yami and Charlotte also at least a little bit stronger as well, which shows that one single training session makes them stronger. If they're training at least once to twice to 3 times a week, even more than that, they're going to get stronger and stronger. So here's, guys, this is all these evidence for not only just other characters getting stronger, but also captains getting stronger. And it makes sense. Guys, Magna has gotten to the point where you can rival Base Asta in speed. Base Asta, who's faster than Mereoleona's Leona's attacks that were faster than Raya's light attacks. Now, I'm not saying that he's faster than Mereoleona. I think that was a suppressed version of Mereoleona. But that suppressed version of Mereoleona scaled above Third Eye Raya's light attacks. So, characters are getting way stronger, way faster over the course of the series. If this is a battle shonen, it's kind of what happens in series that kind of introduces these supernatural energies like magic, chakra, ki. That is kind of how it works. And so, saying that captains don't get stronger, there really isn't much evidence for it besides saying we don't see them training, we don't see them off, getting statements of them training. We have proof that Yami and Charlotte trained, we have proof that Nozel got way stronger, we have proof, if you take the guidebook and the author statement, that these characters also got stronger as well. There's all this evidence that characters have gotten way stronger over the course of the series. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. Just wanted to try and prove that, yes, characters get way stronger over the course of the series on Black Clover, and even captains do as well. So, yeah, I don't see an issue with saying that captains have gotten stronger. You have examples of Fauna, who's a member of the Third Eye, a captain equivalent, getting stronger. Mars, a general, getting stronger, a captain equivalent. Nozel, a captain, getting stronger. Yami, a captain, getting stronger. Charlotte, a captain, getting stronger. Jack, a captain, getting stronger. So many pieces of evidence. It's just more so a preponderance of evidence that, yes, captains are getting stronger in Black Clover, just like all the other characters. But anyways, guys, that's it for this video. Let me know your thoughts down below. Please do leave a like if you did enjoy, comment, and subscribe. Hope you guys all have an amazing day. Plus...